What is up, everybody? Today we're gonna be testing a new game, Indika, which is a type of horror game, third person, something like that. Okay, so yeah, it's about a nun that is just gonna go and let's find some horror things. Okay, so first I'm gonna be testing it out on an RX 60 CPU paired with a Ryzen 5 3600 and 16GB of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. Let's go over the graphics settings. We have only got a single option which says ultra, medium, or low. So this is a bummer, but I wanted to see more of those options, and we only have DLSS, no FSR2. We have TAA, temporal upscaling, which I think it does mean that, and I've disabled motion blur, and we are at ultra settings at 1080p resolution currently. Alright, let's head into the game and let's see how it performs. First of all, I'm just gonna start counting the FPS here. As you guys can see, we're none, and I don't know what we're doing. I couldn't hear anything. And the game is kind of stuttering. It's an Unreal Engine game. The game atmosphere is kind of spooky. There's a lot of fog and stuff, and snowy area. Yeah, so you get the idea. Yeah, so the game is kind of very spooky, and yeah, I think you guys will enjoy the game if you guys want to play it. But today, we're just gonna test it. So I'm currently getting like close to 60 FPS, which is pretty nice for a horror game. And what's she telling me? Oh, what am I supposed to do here? So I don't know if nuns are supposed to do this kind of work, like run in a factory and stuff, but yeah, still we're gonna see what she's doing. Although the frame time graph is kind of pretty bad, as you guys can see there. It's not a straight line, it just has a lot of micro stuttering going on. So this is a given for Unreal Engine. Also, oh my god, that's CPU usage there. This is a very short, like this map is not so big, but looking at that CPU usage, it tells me that this game is pretty intensive. And yeah, the game looks good also, so I cannot complain. Also, it's running pretty good. Maybe it's very well optimized, that it's using full GPU and CPU resources at the same time. We never know. But yeah, I'm just running towards areas. Just walking towards areas because our character seems like she cannot run. Okay, so getting about more than 60s now most of the times. Maybe maybe at this time the game is fully loaded, and previously it was loading some textures, which Unreal Engine 5 is pretty bad at doing. And I don't think that this game had some texture preloading or shader loading or anything like that. Preloading shaders. Yeah, so getting like into the 60s now. There's a cutscene. I'm gonna skip this and I'll be right back. Also, guys, looking at those animations and stuff, the character animation and stuff, it doesn't seem like this game is by not by a AAA developer. It's pretty well done by, I think, by this indie developer. I don't know who it is, but it's pretty well done. So I seriously recommend you guys to play this game. Also, it's performing pretty good, which is pretty rare these days for many games. Alright, so let's go ahead now, and I'm gonna go to the settings, and let's go to medium settings. Alright guys, we are at medium settings now, and the game is kind of a little bit stuttering. We're in the 90s. Let's start counting the frames again. I think it's gonna go more than like more than 100 if I go to low settings. But at medium settings still, the fog kind of seems like it's faded away a little bit, and I can see more clearly. But yeah, the atmosphere for horror games, and you have to have a good atmosphere for that. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and keep moving ahead, and still seems like we're in the 70s. So I'm gonna now go to 1440p. Okay, alright guys, we are at medium settings, 1440p resolution, as you guys can see right there in the settings. Let me show you. Alright, so as you guys can see the settings here, we're at medium settings, 1440p. We are still at TAA, no DLSS. I don't know what's gonna happen if I turn this on. I think nothing happens. I don't know. I've got an AMD GPU, still is giving me the option to use DLSS. Let's use ultra performance. Yeah, it's not working. It's just a bug in the menu. So let's turn it off. Don't use it. Okay. So we're at medium settings, ultra quality TAA 1440p. Let's see how it doesn't perform. Okay. Let's start counting the frames again. Let's move on to this area. The game is telling us to go here. I don't know what. Yeah, this is the spot. Okay. So yeah, we're still at 60 FPS even at 1440p for a game looking like this, and at medium settings. I think we can even turn the settings upper to ultra settings. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's go to ultra settings. Alright guys, I think ultra settings have been applied, and seems like now we're kind of struggling a little bit, like in the 40s, but still not pretty bad for a game like this. That's pretty slow paced, and just some horror elements, and having graphics that are pretty good for these kind of games is always a must, okay? Because the more immersive the environment is, the better the game is gonna be. So I would seriously recommend you guys to use ultra settings for this game, and 1440p, I think it's very good, okay? I don't know why they've not included FSR, because FSR would be pretty nice for this game, as it's a slow-paced game, and FSR usually handles slow-paced games pretty well, okay? So yeah, we're still in the 50s now, in the 50s, and frame time graph is the same. It's a little bit micro stuttery, but yeah, it's gonna happen. Okay, so let's go to 4K now, and let's see how it's gonna run. Alright guys, we are at ultra settings 4K resolution, as you can see right here, and the FPS kind of look pretty bad. Also the game is stuttering, and I think we are getting VRAM bound, so that's not happening. Ultra settings at 4K is not possible, guys. So let's go to settings. I'm gonna try to turn it down to medium, and let's see if this fixes the huge stutters. Okay guys, we're at medium settings now. Let's go back at 4K. Still seems like it's unplayable. Maybe it's gonna settle now in a little bit. Let's try to move a little bit, because right now we're in 9 FPS and not playable. Although you can see the clarity and stuff in the graphics with 4K, like it looks bonkers. I mean, it looks amazing. So yeah, let's go ahead now, and I'm gonna go to low settings. Let's see at low even what it does at 4K. Alright, low settings guys now, and seems like we're still in the 12-13 FPS. The most you could get is 12-13 FPS, I think. But let's just try to make it settle down. 14, 13, and 7.7 gigabytes of VRAM usage. I think we're totally VRAM bound, guys, so 4K is not possible even at low settings. But yeah, so if I think FSR 2 was present in the game, then we might be able to play it. But let's see if temporal upscaling, what it does with performance. It does actually increase the performance. Oh my god. Okay, so this is temporal upscaling now, and I think this is rendering the game now at lower than 1080p even, because we're using performance mode. Let's use balanced at 4K, and with balanced at 4K we're at 70 FPS. Oh my god, this is pretty nice. Let's try to go to quality. Okay, this is 50 FPS now at 4K. Now quality temporal upscaling at 4K. Yeah, at 7.6 gigabytes of VRAM usage. This is very playable, guys, now. Okay, so the temporal upscaling is also doing what the name tells, okay? It's doing upscaling. So it's basically doing TAA upscaling, which TSR usually does. And what the heck was that? What kind of upscale? Oh my god, what kind of upgrades are these? And yeah, sometimes the textures are popping through the doors, so that's not good. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea for this game, Indika, and how it's running. Also, it's a pretty nice looking game. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.